All right. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. Got an outage in my area, so I don't know how long I'm going to be live, so it can come in and out here and there. But appreciate everybody. Sharing is caring. Let's get right to it. All right, so with that being said, we are still looking for a defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. There are some other options out there. Sean McDermott just got fired. The Cowboys, quite sure that they didn't have him under their radar. They didn't know that brother was going to get fired. So shout out to Sean McDermott for what he was able to do for that organization and franchise over there. So that could be a situation. Appreciate everybody, man. As the room fill up, put MLK in the building. Appreciate y'all. Put MLK in the chat. Thank everybody for jumping in and being part of this. So carrying along with the show today, not finna go into the details of what we were talking about. We were talking about, by the way, the re-signing of George Pickens. Will that be a tangible thing? Will that not be a tangible thing? The common sense thing will be restructure a few people contract, spread some money out, bring them back. Don't overanalyze it. His attitude, his mindset, it was proven that on the field he was good. You know, we can talk about the possibilities of once somebody get the money that they change, but that's life. You know, money don't change anyone, by the way. It just reveal who they are. And from what I can say is one of the things that I don't like when people are talking about individuals that they don't really know is that they start to sully and denigrate, right? For those who don't know, George Pickens went back to Alabama this past weekend, and he put on a football camp, and he put on and giving back to the community, and he spent thousands upon thousands of dollars doing such. Instead of talking about the person character off the field of the negative connotations, can we at least 105.3 The Fan talk about the glowing aspects of those things as well? So, but neither here nor there. Shout out to 105.3 The Fan. They are the flagship station. But I wish that they be fair and balanced with their approach when it's time to sully and denigrate, or when it's time to spit out the things that's negative. Plus, you got to add the positive too. All right. So with that being said, should we be worried about Jerry DC selling? Let's listen to what they had to say on this.
Do you worry about the new defensive coordinator coming in and saying, nah, Jerry, this defense is just fine, and I could coach these guys up?
Oh, that's how he's going to sell Jerry?
Yeah, or does he walk in and tell Jerry, listen, you're going to have to get 6, 7 new guys, and it's not all going to come from the draft?
If there's a guy that tells Jerry I can coach these guys up, that person should not be hired. I get you're trying to land a job. I don't know how they have said themselves, even yesterday, Steven, talking to Tommy Yarish, mentioned personnel, and they need to get better. I don't know how I get they want to say, hey, we got the bones here of a good defense. You got Quinnen Williams. Osa stepped.
All right, let me stop right here. Zach Wilchuk is making a brilliant point. You know, whenever you designing your defense, start with a piece. Like you start with the centerpiece, the center mass. And Quinnen Williams, if I'm the new DC, or if they decide to keep Aaron Whitecott and elevate him to be the DC, then that could be a situation. Just putting that out there, by the way. I would say, hey, you know, let's start right now with Quinnen Williams, okay? He's the centerpiece. Next to him, maybe you can say Kenny Clark, but he's a little longer in the tooth. But you want to build from the inside out, right? And what lives and what breeds and what makes the best impact from your interior play. Well, next in line will be your linebacker. You got to have your centerpiece. That linebacker is such a pivotal thing that I can say, just as much as we dismissed the interior play of 3 techs and 1 techs, one can argue we dismissed linebacker, safety play. The core of your team got to be built from the inside out. Your DBs, believe it or not, they're ancillary to a point, because if you can create pressure and get things going from that aspect of it, now I know some DBs are going to be pissed off when I say that, But a good pass rush will make any DB look great, right? Knowing that that ball got to get out of the quarterback's hand, knowing that they can't run on the team, knowing that, hey, everybody, we know that you're about to pass the ball. You get all of those resources and greatness from your interior play. If you want to marry your game up and say, okay, well, Law, what kind of historical references do you have? Who remember Ray Lewis? And I know in this draft it's going to be hard to find a Ray, right? But what I'm saying is that before Ray Lewis, you still had Haloti Ngata. You still had Big Sam Adams. You still had other guys, the other guys that contribute. And then you work your way to the Ed Reeds of the world. Then you work your way to the Christian McAllisters of the world. But you got to have your core intact and all of those things.
Back last year, in my opinion, he had a 3-game stretch where he was good. Kenny Clark is still good, but now he's 30 years old. You know, is his best football behind him. You don't know what Overshown's going to be anymore. And can he stay healthy? So, you know, and Deron Bland's the same way. So you got one player that you can really rely on. You have to go out. And the one thing is, anytime they've added a defensive coordinator, they have been more aggressive in adding players. It's not necessarily like, oh, we're going to be aggressive and add tier 1, tier 2 free agents.
Yeah.
But Bobby had the numbers about how when they have a new defensive coordinator, they are, in terms of adding outside free agents, way more aggressive in years that they're not.
Yeah, and Jerry did say at the press conference, if there is an opportunity or multiple opportunities, they will go there. So I don't think we can completely rule out free agency, more of a commitment. So I think the Joneses might be kind of thinking along that already. But what I think of when it comes to, you know, the decision, who's going to make the decision, Schottenheimer or Jerry, I really wanted to be Schottenheimer, but Jerry is so good at leveraging whatever power and control that he can. You know, so if Shotty really wants a candidate that Jerry doesn't want, he's going to say, well, I want this candidate instead, just so they can cancel each other out and they'll end up compromising on a different candidate. I don't want a compromised candidate. I want what Brian Schottenheimer wants, and I just hope Jerry is as far removed from this as possible. I don't want it to be, you know, something like what we've talked about. Now, I guess this would apply to Jonathan Gannon. He was a head coach. He was fired. I don't have to pay the guy. You know, that's what gets Jerry going.
Yeah. And the head coaches, because the Cardinals are still paying Gannon, and Jerry still operates out of comfort, and he don't like to spend money, right? And I'm quite sure when it's time for him to catch that cloud, he can't take none of this money with him, right? And we're seeing the aspect of just these playoff games of how pivotal is it to have a complete team. It is difficult. It sounds good when you walking around here parading saying, hey, we won 7 to 8 games on bare minimum. Let that sink in. I hope you guys are understanding. We won 7 to 8 games on bare minimum. Mike Vrabel will laugh at a $4 million contract that the Cowboys put on Schottenheimer. He will laugh at that. Ben Johnson knew what his value and worth is, even though he'd never been a head coach. He knew that, hey, I can't be doing this for $4 million. The man is making $14 million. First-time head coach. And you can say that Chicago Bears got every penny of that money. Mike Vrabel making $13.5, close to $14 million. You can say that the Patriots is making and earning every single penny that they spent. Now, does it guarantee that you're going to get a Super Bowl ring? No. But what it is going to bring in the kind of caliber of coaching that you need, the discipline. I was watching, and I'm not saying that Shotty don't have the ability to make 10 to 14 to $15 million. I'm not saying that, by the way. But what I'm saying is that we can clearly see that when it got down to certain critical plays, there were no false starts. There was no holdings. Like playoff football was really a game of inches. And those defenses that we were able to see, they were very disciplined, even though some teams got blown out of the woodworks, and I'm talking about the Niners. But collectively, when you look at those defenses of being able to keep teams afloat, and I'm sitting here thinking like, man, the score would have been like 30-something if the Cowboys were out there. You would have had to score 30 for 30. You literally went into this season needing to score 35 to 40 points every game. I'm quite sure that there are moments that the Cowboys could have scored 28 to 32 points and still had a terrible season every game. Oops, that's what we did. So, and I get it. Jay Recruiter says the Patriots played an easy schedule. Next year they will find out if they were really good. I mean, at the end of the day, we can do the easy scheduling thing, because the 49ers collectively had an easy scheduling. And when you play last place conference versus first place conference, it's the difference of 2 games. Difference of 2 games as far as scheduling. It's parity in the league. So we can talk about those type of things, because even if we look at what the Carolina Panthers did all season long, we can say they had last place schedule for what they were at, but they fought and they played, and it went down to the echoes of the whistles. So I'm not finna chalk up easy schedules because they talk about parity in the league. But I get where you're going. But the NFL, everybody's supposed to have a difficult moment. Yeah, Weber was never coming to the Dallas. Patriots were his first choice. Money changes all things. Money change. If Jerry Jones, a franchise is making $13 billion with a B, if he were to sit down there and say, because there was a strong argument that Stephen Jones wanted Mike Vrabel, right? And Jerry didn't probably want him, but when you have a house divided, you're going to have separations of thoughts, right? All I'm saying is there's no way that Mike Vrabel, as much as he loved the Patriots or what have you, if I'm Jerry Jones, if I say, hey, I got $20 million for you, I guarantee you he would have said, you know what, I'm still a Patriot at heart. Hey, Cowboys, hey, that's the Patriot color, the America's team. Let me come on over here. I don't see many coaches turning down the opportunity to coach for the Dallas Cowboys, by the way. But the only thing that turns everybody away, Ben, dare I say, the remunerations, the time. In order to be great as a coach, you got to separate yourself from family and life and all of that stuff. You got to be sitting there saying that this, baby, I love you. 8-hour days, 9-hour days, it ain't going to even work. I got to put in 16 damn hour days almost. And that's just for what it is. The coaches that won Super Bowls outside of Barry Switzer, they put in time. Yeah. And the NFL is not for long. And the Carolina Panthers almost won. And Jay Recruiter, I'm not shooting any shots at you. I'm just saying in general. As they say, for the love of money is the root of all evil, but money answereth all things. It don't say a few things. It states all things.
I can save a couple of $1 million.
Do you worry about the new defensive coordinator coming in and saying, nah, Jerry, this defense is just fine?
Yeah, we need the new defensive coordinator to spit the truth. All right, so this is on Parker, the young defensive coordinator. Well, not the young guy that's trying to get a shot at being a DC here.
As you've done the deep dive, as you've done on a lot of these guys, are you coming away with a personal preference here? Do you have a guy or two that you're like, man, I would like to see them go this way?
You know, as I do more research on different guys and learn different things about different candidates, it starts to swing a little bit for me. But two names.
Oh, wait a minute. Jera says in the chat, a great teacher doesn't teach for money, but for his passion. Now, I was reading in the connotations of this, maybe a little off kilter because it's more biblical than anything. But there was a guy named Paul who designed churches and built churches and instruct people on how they should set up their churches. Right. And Paul, when it was time to do those things, although he did it out of passion and although he did it out of God, straight LOVE, you know what I'm saying? And he was once he's one of those guys that had to get knocked off the horse. And from Saul, he turned himself into Paul. Right. And he started to teach. He was an educator. But one of the people, when it was time for him to teach and it was time for him to do something, he said that I render you those things which spiritual. Therefore, you have to render me these things which is carnal in order for me to continue to do the things that I'm passionate. And here's the thing. Write this down into your mental mindset, ladies and gentlemen. Write this down. When it's your purpose, you don't need permission. When it's your purpose, you don't need permission, but you still need remunerations. Just because it's the off season, just because this is when y'all supposed to support the most. When it's the off season, when it's no news going on, when there's nothing really doing with the Cowboys, because this is where you win ultimately. When you go through every detail, cross every T, and dot the I's, you got to figure out a way to help support more now, because everything is not flowing as it's supposed to, because it's the off season. But it is for what it is. These coaching staffs that the Cowboys can get out here, if they're really hungry about winning, they'll make sure that they bring in the guys. If it takes the money at all costs, they'll bring in the things that can help you get things going. Hey, it is for what it is. Some people would dog some shoes that they get from Walmart, which would do its purpose. But when you start to think about it, quality is better than a quantity. So if you got the Walmart shoes and you want the results of somebody else with some more high-tech and high-end shoes, it's not going to be the same. Unfortunately, that's life. When you go buy that 4-cylinder car and I'm on the block with an 8-cylinder car, even though your 4-cylinder car, you can have all of that torque and all of that stuff, but if it's time for me to do a certain thing, my 8-cylinder is going to beat you regardless. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much passion you have about that little 4-cylinder car. When it's time to get pulled up that hill, I can and drive right by you. And that's what these teams been doing for the last 30 years, 30 seasons. They've been driving by us. We've been top heavy as it relates to talent. There's no shape, form, or fashion that I can sit back and say, Jerry, we don't have talent in the last 30 years, 30 seasons. We had talent, but we didn't have the coaching. We would have on one end offense, on the other end no defense. One end defense, no offense. That's because we've been holding back on a few things as it relates to remuneration. Cowboys, if we want to change our ways, stop being cheap. Go out there and get the greatest and the brightest minds. But they're not going to come for free, Jerry. And you're going to have to step back just a little bit and allow those who are professional at their craft be professional at their craft. Don't bring your meddling hands and your son and Gene Jones and Jones Jr. all into the mix. You got to. I'm quite sure I can do this same show with a Walmart mic, and y'all be sitting there saying, man, Law is on fire. But in order to get the quality versus the quantity of the video, I went and got a Shure mic, which costs money and is not cheap. All right, let's get to the next conversation. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
As you've done the deep dive, as you've done on a lot of these guys, are you coming away with a personal preference here? Do you have a guy or two that you're like, man, I would like to see them go this way?
As I do more research on different guys and learn different things about different candidates, it starts to swing a little bit for me, but two names have pretty much stayed consistent at the top of my personal list, and it's been Jim Leonhard and Christian Parker. But if you had to ask me right now, I would probably say Christian Parker is my personal favorite. I think what he's done from a development standpoint, not only in Philadelphia with Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, but going back to his time in Denver with Pat Surtain, his experience alongside Vic Fangio, as well as Sean Payton, and what he's been able to do during his career is very fascinating. And, you talk to people around the league and they will tell you that this is one of the candidates around the league as far as a guy who has not been a play caller before, who is bound to get that job, whether it be this cycle or the next one. And I think Christian Parker would be a home run hire for this staff. And
the cherry on top, you're poaching the Eagles. As you've
yeah, somebody, this guy going at him. He says, hilarious. Harris 105.3 didn't know who the guy was before interview, and now he's the home run hire. Y'all are jokes. Well, all I can say is that when you're doing your market research and you're doing your analysis and you reading up people, it don't take 10 years to understand someone, right? You can break down information on someone. Hell, if we being honest, nobody know who Parker is, Sure. A lot of people don't know these guys, man, until they get out there and step outside or till they do something. You be surprised of the people that you don't know that you do know, right? And then you be like, oh, you talking about Smooth over? Oh, I know him. Me and his mama went to school together. It can be something like that. I'm not trying to say that Nick Harris is just pretty much throwing something out there to see what stick. But if we being truthful, a lot of people didn't know who Jim Leonard is. Shoot. A lot of people don't even know how to say his last name, including me. So give these guys a chance, but that's the good thing about going after the new ones. If Jerry want to be super ultra cheap with it, these new guys, they can't demand $10 million or $15 million as it relates to their positioning. I get it. Ben Johnson was talked about as being the brilliant mind, and people knew of him because of everybody was saying the creativity. But not until now, people are saying, giving his brother his flowers. So if Parker is a guy, all I ask for the Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the staff and committee is just be genuine with these guys, right? Make sure that you're listening. Make sure that you're questioning with a question. Make sure that you are combing through and doing your due diligence and getting those 5 references too, Jeez. Yeah, pick up the phone and say, hey, man, have you ever worked with Parker? Okay, yeah. Outside of that, what do he like to do outside of football? Understand all of these guys. Yeah, Leon Hard, Well, he should put a dash in his name, man. Leon and then it's Hard, But we call him Leonard. There's people calling him Leonard, people calling him Leon, people calling him Hard, and that's just crazy. But neither here nor there, pause if necessary. All right, so I want to talk about Durante, because he's another guy that a lot of people been going back and forth over and saying that he could be a specialized candidate.
Nick Harris tweeted over the weekend, Cowboys Insider Forward Star Telegram, hearing some good reviews on the Cowboys interview from Durante Jones for D.C. He impressed some people in the building, efficient communicator, a big deal in this search, confident in what he preaches. He's been the surprise of the search so far. Team now directing attention to Jonathan Gannon on Tuesday to start the in-person interviews.
And that's the thing, is that if Jim Leonard is part of this process, if they want to wait around and get a chance to interview him or whatever else.
And remember, people think that John Harbaugh could be getting Leonard.
Yes, that could be the direction that it's going. If Leonard is somebody that they're waiting on, then I do think that this might be it in terms of the candidates that they're looking at. It might be those 4. Because I don't think they're going to get any new fresh interviews in here in terms of like just a candidate we haven't even talked about yet. And it remains to be seen if they want to call back any of those others that they had virtual interviews yet for a in-person interview.
Nick Harris tweeted.
All right, so if I'm having a situation whereas Durante Jones, Leonard, of course, Sean McDermott, he just got added to the fray. Christian Parker. Who else? Zach Orr, his name kind of fell off. White Cotton, all of those guys. If I'm creating a super, Jerry, if you gave me $13 billion, right? If I had $1 billion, right? I'll create me a super defensive coordinator team, by the way. I would figure out a way to say, okay, well, I want all of them then, shoot. Hell yeah. I have Leonard, and then I have Durante Jones. Man, I get all of y'all. I'm trying to win, man. I'm picking up the phone, and whoever have a loose contract, I'm open to all bidders. But I know you can't do it that way. They got to fit the scheme, and they got to have Schottenheimer's input in it as well. But this is the part of it. We got to somehow have the good cop, bad cop. I think that, and I could be 1,000,000% wrong, that is our issue because we don't have that good cop, bad cop situation. When you get embarrassed enough and people throwing stuff at you as it relates to fecal matter and saying that, hey, this team is trash and all of this, at some point you defend yourself and you say, hey, I'm opening up that checkbook and I'm bringing in the brightest minds. Now, I'm only talking about this to shed light. Kevin Petulio, however you say that man's name for the Eagles, was on what's on the most people bottom shoe, right? Right now, look at the bottom of your foot, you see Kevin Petulio, right? For the Eagles. I'm quite sure, I'm very much so quite sure that the Eagles front office is saying, we ain't finna F this up again. They're going to bring in the brightest of the brightest minds as it relates to their offensive coordinator. They're going to try to find someone that's a whole lot better than what they saw last season. And they're going to try to match that up with Vic Fangio because they're seeing down the stretch that the Giants finna wake up. The sleeping Giants about to wake up. And they're going to bring in their administration. They're going to have coaching there. And just like we saw this past postseason and what's going on now, that them teams on defense, they were playing sharp, and some of these teams on offense, they're playing sharp. I'm not saying that John Harbaugh is going to be the greatest coach to ever come in the NFC East, but you got to prepare yourself of the chances that they're going to be a whole lot better. And if you rush your decisions, if you fool around and pick, hey, instead of the most eligible defensive coordinator, I go with him. No, I'm gonna go with the LPTA, the lowest price technically acceptable. I'm going with the lowest price. If I go with that, opposed to going with, I know for sure that I can get some results, then we'll be in the same place that we were this season or last season, since it's a new season. You're gonna have to pay it up, man. You're gonna have to, Jerry. And that's just one end of it. See, you can tell the people that take shortcuts in life. You can tell the people that don't really roll up their sleeve and that they don't live, breathe, and eat and all of that stuff, this thing called football. That's what we competing against. For the Cowboys, this is just a hobby for them. This is just a hobby for the front office. No, they need to get angry. They need to be pissed off. We don't need to see keying and laughing and cheering and high-fiving and butt-slapping right around this time. That's what the last press conference, it was too many smiles in the building. It was too many, hey, we're going to be better next season. We need to have somebody with a furious anger The last time we had that was Jimmy Johnson. Parcells wanted to be that, but he realized it's just a money grab, right? For the front office enough so that they can get sponsorship dollars to build AT&T Stadium down there in Arlington, which I think is now the World Stadium, whatever they named it now, Dallas Stadium, because they had to change the names. So the Cowboys need to wake up, and if they want it bad enough, they need to get out there and fight, and they need to make sure that they're doing the right decisions. Not all of this talking. Pay it forward. Pay it forward. Yes, indeed. Appreciate y'all so much. If I can't plead out to anything else, I think that the Cowboys' lack of sense of urgency is a part of the problem. Their lack of creativity as it relates to thinking and always trying to be the sharpest knife in the drawer when they are not even in the knife community. These are spoons we talking about. And one can argue silver spoons, right? These guys don't know how to really hustle and bustle as it relates to getting these coaches. They know how to swindle some deals on the oil side and get some marketing stuff that they can boss around. But there's no way that we can look at this season and say that they did everything. I'm talking about the past season. They did everything the right way. Yeah, so it is for what it is. Come on with it, Cowboys Nation. Now, the other topic matter is at hand and is at large here is how do we handle the financial sides of it. I think I already discussed that. Happy MLK Day to all of you guys. The other side of it is that just like these contracts, they got to continue to push and bring these contracts upwards. They can't play around with this. So, and I think I already went over that. Yes. But let's listen to some audio of Durante just so we can be on the same page.
What up, fellas? What up, fellas? I don't know what you just said, man.
If they go with it.
What you guys? Doing all right? Let's roll, baby. Right? Ball awareness, den of thieves. We need that ball today. It's all about that ball today. We'll put hands on people today.
Put hands on them.
Come on, put hands on people. Hey, deep halves, let's make some plays. Cover two, make some plays. Let's go. We dictating today.
Now, I love what he said with we dictating today. Like, we don't have to bend to your willing. You're going to have to bend to my willing. We're going to put in a style of caliber of defense, and this is him at the Senior Bowl, by the way, is that what he's saying is that at some point, we're going to be the head, not the tail. All this past season with Eberflus, we were the tail. We didn't dictate nothing. I think out of probably one game that I saw, maybe two in the possible. The Raiders game and the Chiefs game. Maybe in the possible was the second time we played against the Eagles. 3 games out of 17 was the only time we dictated something. It's because we hit them with a new philosophy they wasn't ready for. And there was the 5 down linemen and the assignments and stuff like that. They couldn't really get things moving. But beating up the Raiders at that time is like kissing your sister. You ain't finna take it all the way to home base. Come on, man. You just, hey, baby, appreciate you, right? And thank you for helping me out, getting the mail. And that's it, kiss on the forehead. That's all we did this season.
Come on, full speed, drop. Come on, dig it. Come out digging. Drop that body weight. Full speed. That ain't running. Come on, you faster than that. Step on my toes.
The Jets game. Okay, so that's what 3 in the possible. yeah, we playing spades now. 3 in the possible out of 17.
Step on my toes. Drop. All right, here we go. We got team. Here we go. Effort. Dictate the terms. Right? Fly around. Den of thieves. Yes, sir. Intelligence. Let's be smart.
Effort. Dictate the terms. Come on with it. And this is one of the excerpts right here. Hold on. Let's listen to this.
The Giants now have a general. You know what I'm saying? I think they definitely got a general in the building, man. He knows what it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? 12 playoff appearances. He is a few plays away from being in another chip. Have he won a chip? We don't know. But he a few plays away, a few seasons from being in another chip.
You think he can get the Giants to the Super Bowl in a few seasons?
Oh, eventually. The Giants going to be... The Giants and the Cowboys will start running the East soon. The Eagles, they had their run. They'll start going down. They group that the Eagles got, it'll start getting broke up. Everybody will start going to get paid. The Giants and the Cowboys, they'll run that division for the next 3-4 years. Next year, Eagles probably still be up there. The year after that, Giants, Cowboys finna dominate that thing.
The only thing I do agree with Talib, and and I also disagree. I agree, disagree. I want what he's saying to be accurate with my Cowboys. I can't stand the damn Giants, especially for what they did to us in 2007. I can't stand the Giants, but they've been in a dormant cell for us for a long time. Even with the Odell Beckham, I used to call him Odella back in the days. Even that catch that he caught on my guy Brandon Carr. We won that game. That was a losing effort type of catch, right? I'm not trying to, but it was a catch that was heard and seen all over the world, though, right? And that was the last time the Giants was any good. That was many a moons ago, right? But and they went on this boat cruise, and they haven't did anything since then. But now it's time. It may be the Giants' season, but not on my watch. Not on my watch. But far as the part that I disagree with is that the other team that's in this division called the Philadelphia Filthy Eagles, they got a guy that's up right now, got a call center calling everybody that he needs to know. And there's always an idiotic team like the Titans or like another team that will trade away and give them all of the leverage to get out of that doghouse, right? Because he's on the phone and he's making his calls. He's making his rounds, and I'm talking about Howie Roseman. And there's no sleep for him because he knows what's on the other end. He don't operate out of comfort. He's operating out of fear that he could lose his job, and he'd be probably working at Publix somewhere, Walmart, Costco's, Uber Eats, Uber Drives, and all of this stuff. I'm just playing. But what I'm trying to get at is that we can't lean on the hypotheticals. We got to go out there and make something happen. And speaking of that, you can make something happen if you just sleep on this right here.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code LAW. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
No doubt. Download Sleeper now. Use code LAW and use that code anywhere. I'm talking about anywhere. But for Sleeper, $20 from me to you will be applied to your account. And on top of that, you put $100 in magically. $100 will be matched. And that's $220 that you can play around with and start making that thou wows over there. That's money. That's thousands of dollars that you can make by using promo code LAW. Sleeper, the #1 fantasy app. Not 2, not 3, not 4. So be sure to reach out to our proud partner, Sleeper. With that being said, how we called the Titans to trade for Jeffrey Simmons. Yeah. Hey, just know that, hold on, let me just go back to the bigger screen right here. Just know this, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not fear talk. This is definitely not fear talk. But when you got somebody that want to be in your shoes and they look up to you, basically, is what they do. They be looking up to you and trying to get things going.
All participants are muted.
For you, trying to get in your show, they're going to try to do anything to emulate, and they're going to try to do anything to try to replicate. That's just for what it is. We know at the end of the day, they still at the bottom of the division, right? But they got something that they want. and that's to have the crown, which they're not going to have in my lifetime. And I'm speaking that into existence. So they're trying to get to where we're at, but they got to pass Washington, and they got to pass the damn Giants, and they got to pass the Cowboys, and that's a long way from here. Not to leave the Washington out of the equation, that's a franchise that's changed up from the top, and they are going to be trying to get things going. Yeah, they're going to try to get things going. So with all of that being said, the Cowboys, look, it's time out for to have these owners putting salts on McGriddles and sitting back chilling. It's time out for that, right? They're going to have to get things moving and grooving. All right, so with that being said, it is 1 o'clock. Let's keep things moving right quick. I think that we can go and get things going in the right direction. Bear with me, Cowboys Nation. Everybody's trying to get here. But before I go here, I just want to say this. If you're traveling through Dallas, right, and if this your first time ever been in the beautiful city of Texas, right, and if you fool around and drive down the wrong road and then you get off on the right road and somebody else just don't see you and they T-bone you or they rear end you, let me tell you who you need to reach out to.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
Yeah, that's our proud partners, Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers, backed by a combined of 100 years of experiences located here in the heart of Dallas. If you ever in a jam and you need some type of representation, just call 817 and every 3 or 214 and every 3, and someone from the Frenkel firm will contact you. On top of that, if you can't, dial that number. If your phalanges missing and all of this stuff, man, all I can say is just try to visit FrankelFirm.com. Someone there will be able to assist you from there. Come on with it, Cowboys Nation. Frenkel and Frenkel, Personal Injury Lawyers. Let me get the first person on the line. His name is D. Shipp from the 409. What's on your mind? Talk to me.
What's good, Law?
Not much, man. Talk to me, man. What you got going?
Oh man, I can see it now, man. They starting to elevate Sam Darnold and Bo Nix and all the rest of those guys, man. They starting to elevate them, and so when you see them top 10 QB, man, some of those guys like Hurts and all that, they'll probably push back, but they're just gonna replace them. And
Bo Nix out for the rest of the postseason now with a broken ankle. He out.
He's out. But what I'm saying is, I'm just saying they're gonna get that new blood in like they do all the time. With Dak, and they'll kind of push him up. A few years ago they had Stroud up there, and Stroud kind of showing you, it's not that easy just to jump in and play that QB position at the elite level they trying to label you at, right?
Right.
And that goes into just that team success, man. And I know Jerry got to be looking at these defenses like what the Broncos are able to do, and because the Denver ain't get there because of Bo Nix, no way. You know what I'm saying? And you look at a team and what they kind of lay their hat on to what they're going to be successful at and what they're going to depend on to get them success. And that formula of just completely neglecting the defense and have anything to do with it, with no matter what area of football you play, man, that defense, man, if you got a defense, man, that can, no matter if it's the running Butkus era or the Seahawks, shutting down Peyton Manning, them 50 touchdowns they came in with.
Right.
You got to go ahead and put that in.
You got to have defense, and historically speaking, the Cowboys never won a Super Bowl without a top 10 defense. They never won a Super Bowl. They never. They never won a Super Bowl. Or one can make a strong argument that they never won a Super Bowl without a top 5 defense, right? So
Yeah,
so we're gonna have those arguments. So it is for what it is, man. I think that the front office,
but I think
don't know how to set up the defensive side of the things. In the last 30 seasons, our defense been our Achilles heel in a lot of situations. But go ahead.
But yeah, some of these defense ain't going nowhere, Lord. You know, next year you're going to deal with another defense that's going to, you know, invest in free agency and make a couple trades to, you know, because the Patriots kind of came out of nowhere, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? And how they had, you know, Stroud looking and the Broncos, they kind of been building at that thing for a little while. And, you know, we still kind of at square one. You know, we took away Micah, added Quinnen, but we still at square one where we've been. You know, you're hoping that the coach comes in and automatically can make some of this talent look better than what it put out last year. And you add that to the fact that maybe you can, you know, draft some quality young secondary and maybe make some splashes in free agency, Law. And I think it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the biggest thing is, like, you got an elite offense. And so if I'm thinking, like, all right, well, how good does this offense need to be able to withstand, you know, these type of defenses that are, you know, going to be there in the championship runs? And how good does this defense need to be to maybe push back at a team, you know, if your offense is kind of struggling against an elite defense?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't care how good you are offensively. If there's an elite defense lurking, you're going to fall flat unless your defense can make the other offense make more mistakes. And that's kind of what you seen in that Patriots and Texans game, right?
Right. I had a guy.
Texans were hanging around.
You're right. They were hanging around, but, you know, the Texans, I'm going to just say this. There was a guy that I talked to that he was saying basically he already knew, regardless of it, if it's going to come down to like the smallest factors, the smallest factors of a game, is that he knew he was going to win because of the team location. The Texans were an indoor dome team from the South, got to go all the way up north and play in those elements. Those elements made it such a difficult situation. I'm not using this as an excuse, by the way. But what he was saying basically,
'cause you had the Rams and Bears as well.
Right. And the elements played a major role in it. Neither here nor there. Those type of teams that when you get to the postseason, the margins of errors, you can't have them. Yeah. And Stroud, he had so many small errors. He had his defense humming. The defense was humming. But I think that Stroud himself kind of like had a bad moment, and it cost him. If it was in a dome,
and that's the thing.
And if it was in a dome, I think the Texans probably would have won that game. But keep going.
And we got to have the resources on defense to have a defense that's going to push back the same way. Because you seeing these guys throwing 2-3 interceptions in the game and winning the game, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're not going to be talked about. Now they're not going to be slandered and thrown around. And I'm saying that, to my original point, now they're going to get the praise. You know what I'm saying? Drake May is about to get some praise when, you know, Barmore and Milton Williams and all them boys, man, they was balling. That defense was there every time they make the Texans make a mistake, and then the Patriots offense come up flat.
Right.
And there's so many times if Dak don't capitalize on a mistake, it's like, you know what I mean? The defense is laying it out there. And
it would have been a blowout.
You can't get it done.
Yeah.
And that's just postseason play, man. And unless we don't equip ourselves to be able to play that type of ball, man, that's when we're gonna have our shortcomings. So that's my thing. Like, is our offense good enough to withstand an elite defense and make something happen, or is it unfortunately just something we got to get better at, defensively, to have any hope? What you think, Law?
Yeah, most certainly I would answer that
one. How much better does a defense need to be to have hope? Because I don't think this offense is a Patriots Drake May or Broncos Bo Nix. It's a lot better than that.
Yeah.
But how good is this defense to improve?
It need to improve drastically.
But thank you, man. I appreciate your time, bro.
Appreciate you, man. That's D Shift from the 409. Yeah, the defense itself got to improve drastically. One thing I was telling the guy, I said, hey, even though that it is a situation and scenario that the Cowboys may find a way to improve their defense. But one thing I was telling the guy about that Texas defense versus the Patriots, if they were going to win, there's one thing that travels. Two things absolute travel, but one thing I know for sure travels. And that is, my friend, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around this beautiful globe, defense travel. Regardless if it's in a storm, snow, or if it's indoor or outdoor. If you got good defense, defense will travel, right? So what I need is I need my defense to travel. I need my defense to bail me out. I need to have a game that my offense may not be clicking. And we may throw one or two INTs, but I need my defense to keep me afloat. And that's what you saw out of the LA Rams tape. That's what you saw out of the Chicago Bears tape. That INT that stretched out, let me see if I can pull this up. That INT in that LA Rams game on the road, right? That defense helped them win that game. Stafford did his Staffording things. But y'all saw that guy dove. He had to stretch out the hand to capture the INT. We haven't seen that play in years. A safety coming from another hash mark all the way around. My guy with the fingernails and everything was dropping back and he threw a ball. But defense, man, defense travel. Regardless you're an indoor team or you're an outdoor team. Look, everybody got a vice. Everybody got something that they're not good at. We had the kind of quarterback back in the 90s. He wore 8 on his chest, and if it rained, oh my goodness, that's like kryptonite falling all over his body. But what helped Troy out, or number 8 out, is that he had a 22 who rarely got hurt, who rarely played basketball with the football, and he had a stellar defense. But he couldn't throw good. Hell, I'm better than Troy Aikman when it started raining. Yeah. He just didn't know how to play football in the rain. But you got to make sure that you study your team and you know your weaknesses, right? And you know your strengths. Play to your strengths. The team that's going to win the Super Bowl this year will be the team that ultimately played to their strengths. Now, it's sad news with the Seattle Hawks, that their running back is hurt and he's out for the remainder of the season. But you got to have your next man up. If you can run the ball and play some good defense, right now, this is about to be a Patriots / Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl. I'm not counting the Broncos out because they don't have a quarterback. And I know that people talking about Benjamin DiNucci and these sorts of things. And Statham, unless he's Jason Statham, it's going to be hard for them. That Jason Statham, man, he's an underrated actor, man. I like his shows or what have you. I got from the 313, G Cut It, man. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me, man.
Hey, Law. First, I want to start off with, happy MLK Day, man.
Happy MLK, man.
Remember, to really be in observance, man. So,
nonviolence, man. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So I want to acknowledge that. But hey, watching the games, I said, I'm gonna ask Law this next time I talk to him, because all I heard was, hey, Josh Allen, now it's all set up for him, because he's the greatest and this and that and MVP. And what he do? He get in there and lay an egg. And I know there's some controversy and stuff in there, but right. I thought about, I can't help but I'm sorry, I got to do the comparisons. If that was Dak in there, he would have been obliterated for that performance.
Oh, yeah.
He would have been completely obliterated for that. And, why he got some criticism, all he had to do was show up crying, and his coach got fired.
He showed up. He showed them crocodile tears, and he said, "Oh, we released the hounds." Here's my stance on Josh. I like Josh Allen. I like what he brings to the table, man. I think they're cursed by the Bills. That's a cursed franchise and organization. I said it's 2026. And this season, I'm gonna change it up, Cuddy. You know what I'm gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Every quarterback in the league is better than Dak Prescott. Because every time I try to support the quarterback, I try to support, even if you have tangible information, real news about what he can do and what he can't do, is dismiss him. People is finna put Drake May up there and say he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And watch, there's finna be a poll. I guarantee you, it's gonna be Drake May in his second season got more playoff wins than Dak Prescott. Like Drake is winning it by himself. Now Drake in that game, this past game that I'm watching, he's throwing the ball in the cold weather and everything. He got some ice in his veins. He is a damn good quarterback. I like his skill set too. But every quarterback that come into the league is measured by what they can do better than Dak Prescott. But somehow Dak Prescott is the worst quarterback ever created, or God ever put on this planet, that he's the worst quarterback. But everybody use him as the bar. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and they hand out passes like candy for everybody. Ain't nobody said nothing about Herbert, because they keep wanting to make Herbert the best QB that's been out in the last 20 years. And last I checked, he ain't won one playoff game. One. And it's always, they got to protect, his line got to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how can he win with that line? And then when Josh faltered, and Josh Allen is good. I'm not throwing shade.
Right.
He don't have enough weapons. They didn't get him enough where are his weapons at? You know what I mean? So like every time one of these guys falls short, here's a ready-made excuse, and they're not held to the same. And it is what it is, right? But it makes me thought of you immediately.
Yeah.
With Drake May, I was like, he's younger than Tom Brady, and look what he's done.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So.
But you know what they're gonna say though, bro. And then I get it, even with Josh Allen. Not a single soul is gonna talk about he should take less money. Right? And so many people are so idiotic, they don't understand the money language of it, the lingo language of it. And they looking at APY, and they looked at Dak Prescott, he getting $60 million APY.
Yep.
Josh Allen getting 56. He took a discount. Bullshit. Look at the contract again. You know what I'm saying? Talk to somebody that knows contract. The dude signed a $330 million. That's way north of $250 million. That's damn near half. And not a single soul is going to go on the 3-ladder, the 4-ladder network, and the 7-ladder network, or any ladder network, and say, hey, this guy should take less. He should have did the team friendly. He shouldn't have signed a $330 million contract, right? So nobody going to talk about those type of things. It's just for what it is.
Right. No, exactly. But on a similar but a different note, the ability for the Bills to say, okay, McDermott, right, wrong, or indifferent, this is as far as we can go with you. And they've had success, but to move off of him, and it's not like somebody else is like a no-brainer, like grab this person, put them in. What do you think about that? Because, I mean, like, that's a gutsy, right or wrong, that's a gutsy call, because I don't blame the stuff on McDermott. To me, I don't.
Right.
They made a call, Law, to say, look, he's good, but he can't get us to that next hump. Yeah. So we got to move off him, whether we're comfortable with him, whether we like him, whatever. This is where we got to change it up. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
No, I just think that, this would be his first changeup, right? With that particular organization and everything. Is that what you try to get at? If I'm following you correct?
Yeah.
Second, because he had the ball, right? He had Dayball there, and Dayball was helping him out, and that would turn him around.
Dayball, but I'm more from an organization standpoint to move on a coach that's been successful and said, hey, you know what? you can't get us. I mean, I guess Pittsburgh and Baltimore kind of did the same thing, right? They look at their guys and said, right, wrong, or different. They said, look, for where we're trying to get somebody, you're not it. We got to move off, and other organizations would kill for those guys, right?
Right.
I just wanted your thought on that, because I don't know if you had somebody like Jerry. You saw how long it took him to get rid of Mike McCarthy, right? 12 and 5, 12 and 5.
Right.
And when he got rid of him, it wasn't because of another 12 and 5. It was, the season we had, and I guess his contract expired too, so he wouldn't owe him no more money.
Right.
So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, because I do think that's gutsy. We'll see if it's right or wrong when you kick out a coach that you're trying to get to the championship.
Right. You're trying to get to a spot, man. I feel exactly what you're saying, bro. Yeah, man. We'll cross analysis that, man. I appreciate you for calling in, man. I appreciate you, bro.
All right,
thank you. Let's cut it, man. Yeah. People can say all they want is Tom Brady is the standard. No, it's not Tom Brady. I don't see people creating charts and stuff saying that, hey, in the first 8 years of Tom Brady, these are the things that he was doing compared to Joe or to Troy or to any of those quarterbacks that was in the past. But you can make big money talking about Dak Prescott in his first 8 years or his first 10 seasons, because Dak Prescott number blows Tom Brady numbers out the woodshed. But one thing that he don't have, playoffs, and he don't have Super Bowls. And Law, do you have any truth to it? Yeah. I just found an old chart. There's another one that's circulating around, but this was the first 8 seasons. And I can find the first 10 ones, but I had to go all through Twitter or what have you. Let me see if I can pull this up. So that's why Dak Prescott is the gold standard. Everybody measure him, the worst quarterback that God ever created, according to everybody, is that this right here. Look at it. Just look at it. Both 112 games and 114. Dak better completion percentage, better passer, better passing yards per throw, better yards per game, less interceptions, by the way, more touchdowns, more rushing, more passer rating, But, hey, to each his own. So you mean to tell me if you pick up Dak Prescott, put him on a time machine, and marry him up with Bill Belichick, with that top 3 or that top 5 defense that they had historically speaking, that there's not at least one damn Super Bowl? There could at least been one in there, right? That's all I'm getting at. So, yes, Dak Prescott is the ultimate premium standard of all quarterbacks, because the first thing they do is, hey, C.J. Stroud, he's a better quarterback than Dak. Look at the postseason. Hey, Jalen Hurts, he's a better quarterback than Dak, And who else? Oh, man, Drake May. All of these quarterbacks that come out in the National Football League, they all marry them up to Dak Prescott, and they go side by side. And every time I see these illustrations, and I know I'm finna get these, hey, this is just a quarterback patent stat, stat patent Dak. But don't y'all know, shout out to even Troy Aikman y'all saw me, I'm just talking naturally, and Troy Aikman had to jump in. True story, it just glitched that way. But what I'm saying is basically, Dak Prescott will always be the standard for some strange reason. And he's such a terrible quarterback. So I said, you know what? I'll tell you what. From this day forward, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing anymore. But it is for what it is. Just continue to put pieces around this guy and understand that this is not the reason why y'all losing these games. Improve this defense. Let a real defense. I ain't talking about being the top in takeaways. I'm talking about, can you stop the run? Can you make a turnover when you get to the postseason? Dude been in the league for 10 to 11 seasons, and you can count on one hand how many turnovers the defense forced. I seen more turnovers in one postseason game 2 weeks ago. It's crazy. It's crazy. The difference between Brady and Dak is Super Bowl champions and the regular season champion. Yeah. And the difference is, if I had a gun to your head and you had a choice, Bill Belichick, Jason Garrett, who you picking? for the first 4 or 5 years of your career, you going to say, yeah, man, I want to survive, man. Give me Bill. And then give me Bruce Arians. Those are the realities of it. And Mike McCarthy, he's no slouch as a coach. It's proven, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. But he is a guy that's been searching, because as good as he is, he haven't won a Super Bowl since 2010, and he had the next greatest quarterback ever assembled, and his name was Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers could do nothing wrong with that catch up out of the face, right? Aaron Rodgers was the guy that was the gold standard as it relates to a guy with throwing mechanics, throwing arms, and if Mike McCarthy couldn't win with him, what are we thinking that Mike McCarthy could have won just purely off of Dak Prescott? Hey, I'm just telling y'all how it is. All right, from the 304, you're live on the Nation. Hey, Lou, talk to me.
What's good, Law? What's good?
What's good, man?
Hey, I definitely agree with you. Dak is the gold standard for these quarterbacks. If you're looking at them, it's simple facts. These facts are, and this is what I do hate. I'm gonna start from the beginning. This is what I hate. Bo Nix, right?
Right.
All right. Bo Nix is we're talking about game managers and game changers. He's a game manager. Bo Nix beat Allen, right? He beat the Bills.
Oh yeah, Bills. Yeah.
He beat the Bills, right? It's going to go down as a Bo Nix win, but it's not going to go down as how good that damn defense really was.
Facts.
It's not going to go down how many turnovers that defense caused.
Right.
It's going to go down that Bo Nix beat Josh. Beat Josh Allen, and that's crazy, and that's the problem. Because you're going to look. If you look at Dak in the career he's had here in Dallas.
Before you say anything further, I guarantee you that there's not going to be anybody on the 3-ladder, the 4-ladder network saying, "Oh, Bo Nix better than Allen. Oh, Bo Nix, he just carved up Allen." It's not going to be that talk. It's going to move from Bo Nix better than Dak. It's not. They're not even going to mention Bo Nix versus Allen.
Yeah, and all they're going to say, and they won't say nothing about Josh Allen.
Yeah, right.
They continuously say he doesn't have any weapons, but they will not. They will go ahead and say, "Well, Dak can play in the regular season, but he can't play in the playoffs."
Right.
When you get to the playoffs, it's a full team game. It's not the offense, it's not the defense, it's not special. It's everybody has to come and play. Everybody has to do their part. And the teams, if you're paying attention, all the teams that really won or are winning or in the finals, they all have top defenses.
Talk to me, hey Lou. Hey Lou, did you see that Chicago Bears and LA Rams game?
Yeah.
Man, it was an enjoyable game. I was sitting there like,
absolutely.
I love the fact that they were talking about 3 tight end sets, and they were manipulating this, and they were moving stuff there, and they were making. I was like, these guys were fighting, clawing to the ball. I was sitting there like, man, I don't give a dog who win. This is a good game, but I get it. It was a little risque. I think that Ben Johnson, I know for sure he would take back some of those extra plays that he did, like going forward or not taking the points.
On the fourth.
Yeah. But
that's analytics ruined the game.
I couldn't fault him. I couldn't fault him though. I couldn't fault him for it though, because that means that's the ultimate trust that he had in his defense, man. Damn it, if I can't get it, my defense going to stop it. But then I was looking at the other side, Lou. Sean McVay was just sitting there calling. It was a real-life chess match, right? We didn't see none of that. All season long, we didn't see not one game that's equaling like that, bro. But keep going. I didn't mean to take all your thunder. I just had to get that out.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But that's where I was leading to. You led me right into it. And that simple fact that you can look at that, that might be the only defense that you can call an opportunistic defense, but they still stepped up.
Right.
You don't know the back seven. You barely know a linebacker. You know 2 DNs.
Right.
But their D tackles play. You can call that an opportunistic defense, but they're built the right way.
Hell yeah.
They got the big boys in the middle. They got the outsides taken care of. Your linebackers know how to play. They're smart. Your safeties and your corners, they're not like top notch, but they know how to play.
Yep.
They know they're at the end of the day. What goes back to what?
Coaching. Ooh, we said it at the same time. Yeah.
They are coached well.
Yeah.
They're held accountable, and they know how to play the game. You don't have to have a but. That's the problem. You can't. Here in Dallas, you cannot have. It's one or the other, and this is what teams have. You'll see a team like the Rams who don't have the mega stars, the Micah Parsons. Now, versus he's a monster. Let's not take that away from him.
Yeah.
But when I say you don't have, this top 5 player here and the top corner and the top safety, they have a bunch of good players that raise their game. The coaches elevate them.
Come on with it, man. You preaching.
The coaches elevate them. And if you don't have a coach that can elevate you, and you don't have a coach that you believe in and you believe in the system, it's just it's the ticking time bomb.
Yeah. When that guy dove for that INT, I was like, man.
Yeah.
I said, man.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Because the coach coached him up. He believes in the system. He knows how to play. He knows his stuff. Because just like Diggs knows what he's supposed to do.
Facts.
But if he doesn't believe in the system, it doesn't matter. Like he's gonna do whatever the hell he wants to do, and he's gonna look bad because that's not what was supposed to happen.
Not supposed to happen. Yeah.
Against the Bears, he jammed. He was 1-on-1 on the backside. Safety was rolling over to the other side. He knew he could get there, but he don't believe in the system. He knows that if he doesn't get his hands on this receiver, he knows his body. He knows they gonna run right past him.
And I saw the counting is I can't fault Ben Johnson for going for the dagger though. He was going for the dagger, and old boy was like 18. I forgot. Williams. He threw that ball and it was lazy. He was like, damn, I just want my guy to cut his route off just a little bit. But I think his name was Lake that dove and said, man, that ball belongs to me, man. It was a good game, man. Good game. Yeah.
Good game. It was a really good game. I'm happy to see good football.
Good football.
Outside of the Texans.
Yeah.
Good all around football.
But their defense was fighting everything they could. Their quarterback put them in the way. Look, I'm just gonna say this, Luke. The way that CJ played in that game is the way that people think that Dak Prescott played all the time. All the time. I'm talking about that the negative plays. And people fail to realize it's supposed to have been a blowout if it wasn't for that damn defense. We keep going, man.
You're right.
Yeah, the defense kept them alive, man. We never had that. By the way.
No, not at all.
Never.
As many turnovers as he's had, the defense created just as many.
Equaling, yeah.
So, so it's just you gotta have somebody that's gonna take advantage of it.
Hell yeah.
They stopped the run and they figured out CJ. He did the same shit he did when he played against Pittsburgh. Tried to give the game away. This time he gave it away.
Yep.
I'm telling you, somebody put that call in. I do not doubt that one bit. Somebody put that call. You can't tell me that you can't hang on to the ball. You don't know what you're doing. You and your center don't know what's going on. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. That don't make no sense. You telling me you're that bad coach that you can't figure that out? Y'all too can't figure that out. Man. And we're just not even talking. We're talking about the Steelers right now.
Facts.
This game, he just, I don't know where his head was at. But now he's going to be. What do you do with him? Because you don't. Me personally, I'm not signing him.
But I'm gonna tell you this though. Moving on from that point, if next week, if Sean Payton win versus the Patriots, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the outcome, if I don't care if it's by 1 point, 3 points, 20 points, if Sean Payton win that game, I'm gonna say, man, he should get Coach of the Year. He should get Coach of the Century. Because he has literally flipped that whole program around, moving off from a $60 million quarterback to, I guess they ate $60 million of dead money, and did it his way, and they were able to propel and get things moving and grooving. That's a coach that knows what he wants, and that's a coach that walk around with heavy, you know what I'm saying, balls and saying, hey, this is what I'm going to get going. Sure. Right. I couldn't find no fault if Sean Payton win this next week. But if it's not, then it is for what it is. But what else you got for me, man? What else you got for me, bro?
I'm in transition. I'm glad you brought up Sean Payton and the Broncos because I'm in transition into this Jim Leonard. I'm telling you right now, Law, if we don't make a decision within a week, we're going to be stuck. Because if we're waiting for him to decide if he wants to come to Dallas versus going to the Giants, and we don't have an inside track, and we let Christian Parker go, we let the dude we just interviewed go, we let these, please let don't mess with Gannon. Keep moving on past him. If you're letting all these young defensive coordinators go, and just to wait for Jim Leonard, just for him to go to the Giants because they gave him more money, I'm telling you, this is going to be a blemish on Shotty. Shotty, you can't sit here and wait around for this guy.
Yeah.
Yes, Grant, you got to make a decision. I get it, you want him, but at the same time, waiting for him and not being able to move forward in your process in your off season is going to hold you up even more. And now you're going to be searching again because if that domino falls, everybody's waiting for Jim Leonard for that domino to fall.
Right.
You can't tell me that there's not 4 or 5 other teams that are looking at him as a coordinator.
Oh, they're flirting. They're flirting with him now.
Exactly. These coaches that you've interviewed, go ahead and go get them. Let Jim Leonard go. Let him move on. I'm saying if you don't move on, I'm telling you it's going to be a problem because then you're going to be scrambling because think about it. You wait for him. You don't make a decision. Then you have to interview him. Then you have to interview him again.
Yeah.
Then you got to offer him, and then you got to hope he accepts the offer.
Yeah.
By that time, all of your other coaches that you had that were your top 5 picks have either moved on or said no, they're not waiting on you.
They're not waiting on you. Yeah.
Then you got then you got to figure it out. So we might see the second come. We might see Jesus come back because if we see a black coordinator, that'd be crazy.
That will be wild, man. Right. Yeah. But appreciate you, A. Lou. Thank you so much, man. And happy Martin Luther King Day to you, man.
Hey, look, that might be the sign right there.
No doubt, man. That's A. Lou. I had a guy that is close with the networks or what have you. And this is the ultimate excuse, but I loved every bit of it when he was telling me, is that what happened nearly with the Niners is that they played on a short week and they had to come back, and all of their coaches on their staff was being pretty much trying to get interviews, trying to make sure they will know where their head is at for next season. They may implement a new rule, whereas they're going to stop that. And finally, I'm glad that someone else can see it, because when we yell out those things, it's more like the Cowboys just whining and complaining. Ultimately, even though I'm greedy right now and I want somebody to get hired in these sorts, what I need the NFL to do, I get it. Even if they have to push the draft back and push the season back just a little bit, allow these teams that get to the postseason to focus only on the postseason and allow them to finish and complete their season. And when the postseason is over with, then that's when you can do these interviews. Then that's when you can go hire these guys. But doing it now, I would just hate. And I know that's how it always been, but the attraction levels and the news, if you get an interview for the Atlanta, that's one thing. But for the 49ers, these big companies like 49ers, the Cowboys, and all of this, it's a major distraction because you putting your body on the line. You want what's best for your positioning coach. You want what's best for your peers or what have you, but it will throw you off all the time, man. And then you check out mentally. And all of the game plan stuff would be, and that's how I was. Now, I know that these guys are getting interviewed for 7 figures and probably 8-figure jobs. But me, I know how it was when I was getting interviewed and I was going from a call center job to the federal government, you know. And I made the epic mistake. I told my mom, said, baby, I'm finna go interview for this job, and it could be a possibility. It's finna be monumental. It's finna be changing. Don't y'all know how much stress it was when she said, did you get the job? Did you get the job? Did you prepare? Did you study the test? Hey, did you do this? Look, it is one of those things that the NFL need to change it. It's a lot of stress. And you play it off. And you say, well, God have for me, and all of this stuff. You put G-O-D. G-O-D sitting here like, hey, hey, what's going on? Why you adding me into this equation? But what I'm saying is collectively that the NFL, because this is life-changing. You moving from California probably to Miami. You got to let Ashaniqua, Pookie, and Ray Ray and them know that, hey, you about to move. Or you got to let your wife know, hey, I'm finna move. This finna be life-changing. This is an opportunity if we showcase my best performance on this interview, or even if they considering just a phone call, your mind is not going to be really focused and locked in on winning that weekend. You're going to be focused on your future. Because even if you win, they might keep you. If you lose, they might keep you, right? You trying to secure your future. The NFL need to fix that. And I'm glad I can say it now, because when I said it while we was in the postseason, people were saying, Lord, those are just excuses. No, this is the reality. The NFL is a $100 billion organization, right? They make billions of dollars. They can push these interviews and all of this stuff back to after the damn Super Bowl, right? That's what they need to do. I know I might get some people say, nah, Law, if they professional, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Wait till you go from making 5 figures to 6 figures, or wait till you go from 6 figures to making 7 figures. It's a whole different levels of stress. And I know some people say, well, I'm built for it, man. But there are some people, they got so much things involved in it, they're not finna be scouting what the 13 personnel look like, or what the 11 personnel, or who's your best defender or receiver and all of this stuff. It is for what it is. It is for what it is. Indiana play tonight. Miami versus Indiana. I like what the playmaker been doing over there at Miami Hurricane. I think he could be mic'd up. But I like the underdogs, man. Give me that old senior citizen team. Indiana, baby. I'm just messing with y'all. But it is for what it is. I got the 209. What's on your mind? Spit your mind. You're live here on Frenkel and Frenkel, personal injury lawyers.
Hey, how you doing, Law?
Doing great. Can't complain.
I had a question on the DC's, the defensive staff. I personally think they should hire some of them now. I would like to see Durante Jones and Al Harris together. Durante Jones as a DC, Al Harris as an assistant DC secondary coach. Charlie Bolin and Zach Orr, with Zach Orr as an inside linebacker coach.
Okay.
And White Cotton for defensive line game coordinator. And DeMarcus Covington as a passing game defensive line coordinator.
Okay.
We might have to pass on Jim Leonard. I don't see him leaving Denver personally. If we can get him, have him as a defensive back coach, assistant passing game coordinator.
Yeah.
With Christian Parker as the nickels.
Yeah.
And Ephraim Banda as a safety coach. But if we can't get Jim Leonard, why not just have Christian Parker at Jim Leonard's position and keep what's the nickels coach we have, right? Darian Thompson.
Darian Thompson is going to be probably elevated as at some point at this time. They really love Darian Thompson. Of course, he was a guy that was on his team and transitioned to coaching this team for the transition program. Minority transition program, I believe, coaching, training, minority transitional program that he was part of. But, outside of that, man, you got some good ideas, good thoughts out there. But I don't think Leonard will move for a lateral move, especially when he got the Giants in his ear and Lord knows other teams, because here's how success works. Normally, when you are a successful team, you try to get more successful people from those successful teams, right? Normally what the Cowboys did last season by grabbing and scooping up Matt Eberflus was a decision that they had to know there was going to be be a terrible one, because in his program in the last 3 seasons, they haven't even made it to the postseason, right? Nobody
Even
on their
when he
staff
was,
been elevated, right? So it's
When
crazy.
he was here, I called and let them know about that. I was like, man, when he was here, you had then was it Wilson and Hitchens,
Right.
and Ware.
Right.
They all left and won a Super Bowl.
When he was here,
And
yeah.
they're all underneath Matt. And I remember Ware saying that, hey, there's certain coaching staff, they don't change nothing.
Right.
I'm like, he had to be talking about Matt. He had to be talking about Matt, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah, the people having their gripes. But the thing what made Matt Eberflus glow just a little bit was when he was elevated to the Colts and became their DC, right? And they shined for a few years. Matter of fact, he was there with Hooker, right? So it was one of those things. And then when he got the ultimate promotion, whether it was warranted or not, he went over to Chicago. Chicago identity always been defense. And he never got a chance to turn that program around. That should have been like the red flag there. Granted, when I was doing my research, I didn't really want to say it because it was just we were such a bad team coming out of the Zim thing, coming off of that year. When the Cowboys lose, bro, the whole city shut down, bro, and the whole offseason is long. So I'm sitting here looking at it like, okay, well, with Matt Eberflus, what was our biggest impediment? It was linebackers, remember?
Yeah, that's what I already knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
During
I
the
was
draft,
thinking that we're
Mike
going
was
to
gone.
improve our linebacker play. And bam, it was our worst positioning group. Our linebacker play this past season was worse than any group in the National Football League plus this team. So it is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I honestly think that we could pass on Jim Leonard because if we get Al Harris with Durante Jones, we don't need Jim Leonard. I mean,
Yeah, but Al Harris, I
Jim
don't think that
Leonard-
he's going to move back this way, especially after what he done built up there and the possibilities that can come working with what he loved to do, right? And I just don't see it. Now, things can change. Money can change a lot of things, but I just don't
Jerry
see
better
it.
break open his piggy bank.
And we keep saying it, and Jerry never do it. I think that they are like that doggone guy off of Lord of the Ring, My Precious. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't pay nobody. They only pay that. Look, let me quit talking. But man, I appreciate you for calling in, man.
Yeah, no problem.
No doubt, man.
Thanks for taking the call.
Anytime, bro. Cowboys don't pay nobody, man. That's why they billionaires. They don't pay nobody, man. I haven't seen nobody say, man, I work for the Cowboys, man. Man, they giving me all types of coins over here, man. Look what I'm pulling up in, man. Shoot, man. They be like, man, them giving me whole about $20, man. And I'm not beating up people that work for the Star. But what I'm saying is that Jerry don't pay nobody. Yeah, they look at it like, shoot, you should pay us. Who remember that? You can't pimp me. I'm a pimp myself. Shoot, you can't pimp Jerry. Jerry is sitting there saying, shoot, you should pay me. It should be a privilege of you working with the silver and blue and the star somewhere on your body. And anybody that do pretty much work there, it's kind of like is the average median income. This is what we're going to pay you, just a little bit north of that. But there are people that literally leave the organization, and I'm talking about just staffing members, and go elsewhere and you get paid heavily for what you do. But it's just the old school philosophy that you owe me. I don't owe you. You should be happy that you are here, and that's just for what it is. But I know somebody with the 901 going to hold it down. Boy, what's up, bro? I ain't here for you in a long time, man. What's good?
Shout out Lord Nation. Shout out Memphis. Shout out Cowboy Nation. Shout out Martin Luther King Day. Shout out Jet, CD, GB, the defense, the offense, the special team. Let's go. Let's get it. Who run it?
Who run it?
Who run it? Those boys ain't running. Shit with y'all mouth. Cause the first hater step the first hater get tossed out. In town in the house. Let's go. Let's get it. Just a quick
Dr. Martin Luther King he's up out of the grave now talking about, man, shout out to me, baby.
Shout out to Memphis. It's free downtown at the Martin Luther King Museum. It's free to everybody. Come check it out. In town representing. Shout out John. Shout out Grizz. Shout out Tiger. Shout out Hardaway. Let's go. Man, just a quick recap of the playoffs, man. We can beat any team in the playoffs. This is embarrassing, man.
Technically,
this is depressing. This is depressing, man. How come we're not in the playoffs?
Defense, man.
Oh my God, man. Man, I'm at a loss for words. I ain't got nothing for you, Law. I'm just listening to you, man. I'm finna get my ass up and go downtown and then partake in the
you don't have to deliver today, man. Shoot, it's MLK Day, man. You know, you don't have to. Well, you better not pick up a mail. You better not pick up that satchel you be having around, that hat, them damn long ass socks with shorts. Don't do none of that stuff today, man. You chilling today, bro. You know.
Never catch me in mailman shorts. You too short, man. Don't nut cutters. I'm good on that. Empty on the house. Let's go, Law. Let's get it.
Let's get
it. Know you in Memphis. Shout out BB King. Well, I'm out.
Yeah. Hey, my guy, he worked for the postal services, man. So I just think about it, man. I can just imagine him walking down the street, man, on days that he delivering mails. But true story, man. You know, it's a federal holiday, so y'all better not be delivering no mail, man. And I know these people that are looking for these refund checks and these tax returns and stuff, that mailman is very important around this season, especially next month. Yes, indeed. But why do they wear them long socks? They be thick in them shorts, man. In a long sleeve shirt, you know what I'm saying? Like long sleeve shirt, shorts and long socks, man. That's just crazy male outfit, though. But he said he don't wear it, man. He don't wear it. He don't wear his. Costco's open? Yes, indeed. But, hey, he going postal, man. Sure. Yeah, I used to work for the post office, too. Yes, it is. So y'all should be having y'all celebratory moment, baby. All right, I got DP, man, for the 979. But when I held that 9, all I can see was my mama's eyes. What's good with you?
What's going down, Law?
Not much, man.
Yeah, man. As always, man, appreciate you giving me a chance to speak. Man, after watching that game, that Texan Patriot game, can you hear me? Okay, do you hear any noise in the background?
No, you good, man. You good, man. You good.
Okay, cool. Okay. Nah, but man, that game was crazy. Like. And it just amazes me because I stay in the Houston area and I work in Houston, so you know I got the Texan fans real mad at me because I just was telling them, like, man, y'all can't say that Stroud is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. And I'm not trying to say that Stroud is a bad quarterback, but just that man threw 4 picks and a half. He could have thrown way more than that because there were a bunch of passes that were getting tipped and almost was getting picked off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Dak Prescott ain't never played that bad ever, in my opinion. I don't think I can remember any game where he's had some bad games. Don't get me wrong, but he ain't never looked that bad, especially with having a top-ranked defense. You know, like.
Yeah, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill you for a second because of that damn Green Bay Packers game, you know. But when you look at it, when you look at those picks, it was just a whole lot different. It was like, and now you know. I know you're about to get to your point, DP. But now but if I'm Brandon Cooks, I got to go all the way back to when he allowed Zaire Alexander to shoot through his damn body.
Yeah.
I think that Cooks, man, got to be, and I know he's my buddy, he's my guy. He got to have the softest grips ever. You know what I'm saying? Like he getting abused. He get literally, I gotta say this, he getting raped out there when it's time for somebody to fight for the damn ball. Like, dude, you have every position for the ball. I'm still mad to this day on Brandon Cooks allowing Zaire Alexander to shoot through his body to pick that ball off. It's just crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's the second time now in this past game. against that Denver thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, man, he got them cheeks to pause. But yeah, man, I can't believe that kind of stuff, man. But yeah, I kind of caught it on the tail end, so I think y'all already talked about this. But yeah, it was just, I saw just today them bringing up the fact, like, they bring up anything to try to disrespect Dak Prescott. Like, they brought up the fact that Drake May got 2 playoff wins this year, and that's more than Dak Prescott. It's like, man, do y'all just wake up one morning and be like, hey, you know what? Let me see what I can do. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying right. Like Dak is the standard, Shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to get to understand. So is he, like, y'all talk about him so much? Is he that bad or is he that good? Like, yeah, just like I say, he must be the standard because y'all talk about him so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wish for one season, like, we could go into a year where Dak Prescott can throw for 180 yards in a game and we'll still win the game because the defense just showed up and just showed out. Because that's crazy to me because the Texans got that great of a defense, and Stroud and that offense just went out there and just laid a flat out egg. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. And it's just like you were saying, man, Jerry, I hate to be, I try not to be so negative about it, man, but it's like, I just wonder what are they going to do about this whole defensive coordinator situation, man, because I don't know if they really do already have the coordinator in place. They just ain't said nothing or what the whole deal is, man, but it's just like, man, just hire them, give them what they need, and get the hell out the way, man. Get it out the way,
man. This is flies at the barbecue, gnats at the crib, at the barbecue. Is just get out the way, Jerry. And he's not going to do that. Father and son connection, man. It just we're going to have to outlive the Jerry Jones administrations and all of this stuff in order for us to see real football technicality stuff. And there's going to be some water carriers that are going to say, hey, Jerry has won the 6th winningest organization since 96. There's other organization. What's the 49ers excuses and all of this stuff because they haven't won in so many years? I'm like, damn it. I'm talking about my team right now, I'm trying to figure out how we can win. We can't be looking at the other team, lack of success, and compare us to them and say that we should be okay with this. No, you want to be better than this, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. Them Jerry Glazers, man, they're ridiculous, man. Like, I deal with a bunch of them sitting there talking about all the moves that they made for this season. I'm like, okay. I was like, man, just think about this for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Name me a team that was hooting and hollering saying, oh, man, we got to have Kenneth Murray. Dang, Dallas got him. Dang. Yeah. Oh, they got Sanborn. Yeah. Dang, we wanted Sanborn. Dang, we wanted who else?
Elam.
Elam. Oh, man, dang, they got Elam too. Man, God, we wanted him so bad. Like, no, man, and I'm not trying to disrespect any of them dudes, man, but they just flat out it didn't cut it, man. And we supposed to be excited about that? No, I'm not gonna be excited about the fact you got Jack Sanborn, slow foot. Like, I'm not. Nah, I'm good on that, man. So, I mean, it's like, Jerry, dude, like, get off your old wrinkled ass and do something, man. Like, you sorry bastard. Anyway.
Those words are independent to DP, not me.
my bad, man.
No, you good. I'm already on the hit list, man. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, shit. And I try to watch the language anyway. So
No. I'm talking about not for the cursing. I'm talking about for the Jerry Joneses and the Cowboys apologists over here. They would literally say, I've been beat up on so many platforms saying, hey, man, you're not a real fan because blah, blah, blah. I'm sitting there like,
yeah.
So somebody wrote me like a 2-page paragraph about I shouldn't be laughing at the damn 49ers for not advancing because they made it further than us. And how can you have something to say about a team that's in the postseason and losing when you didn't even make it to the postseason? And it don't supposed to be the point if you go to the postseason. I said, yeah, the point is you go to the postseason and win. But going to the postseason and losing, ultimately, all it did was gave you worse draft picks. None of that stuff carry over for the next season. You got to be able to make sure that your team is equipped enough so that you can get to the Super Bowl and win. I'm not sitting out here shooting just to get to the postseason or shooting just to get to the Super Bowl and lose. I want to win.
Right.
That should be the mindset.
Yeah, man, you trying to get the draws, man. You ain't trying to almost.
Yeah, almost.
My bad, kids. I hope ain't no kids listening. You know what I'm saying? But no, but I'm being serious.
Yeah, you being real.
Man,
yeah,
because like that's what like the Houston Texans fans like. It's my last thing. I know I don't know how the mic, but that's what the Texan fans was trying to tell me. Oh, Stroud, he got more playoff wins than Dak. I said, okay, you want a cookie for that?
Yeah.
Like how many? They got the same amount of rings too.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't care if Stroud got 15 playoff wins, he ain't got no ring. That don't mean nothing to me.
Right,
you know
right.
Well, yeah, but that's just how folks' way of thinking is. But I appreciate it again, Law, man. You take it easy, my man. Thanks for letting me speak.
No doubt, man. That's DP for the 979. But when I tried, but when I held that 9, all I can see were my mama's eyes. No one knows the struggle. They only see the trouble. Not knowing it's hard being black growing up and no one love you. You know? Jeez. That boy said hard growing up being black and no one love you. But I know y'all love me. LOVE, man. I love y'all too, man. If y'all do, put LAW in here and keep sharing. Sharing is caring. Ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate you guys so much. And no shade at Jerry Jones, man. You know, well, I love you, Jerry. Sure. Give me access to that yacht, man. Come on, let me cruise it around, man. Let me go check on my homies, man, in Freeport, Bahama, man. Come on, man. Jerry, let me get that yacht right quick, bro. You know. Shout out to you, Joseph. Give a shout out to you, Unlucky 8719. Appreciate you, Bama boy. Sean Harris, been in the mix since day one. Who else we got in here, boy? Jerry Jones, appreciate you. Who else? Shout out time. Ice Cold Cowboy, man. Put down where y'all from, man. Put down where y'all from. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all, man. Yes, indeed. Sean Harris is Law and the Clowns gonna be on that, man. We're gonna be, man, having a carnival party on that damn boat. I'm for real, man. Hey, you know the theme music on that boat gonna be Sean? I got the theme music. I got the theme music and everything, man. Hold on, let me pull up my theme music. If I'm on that damn boat or yacht with Jerry Jones, I say, give me my theme music. Come on with it, man. Where you at? Here we go. This is the music I'll be playing. I'll be like, let me get behind that yacht wheel, boy. Yo, they don't got no icebergs down here. Boy, I be selling, boy. Yo. Come on, Jerry. Jerry! Make my Johnny Walker blue clown colors, you know? Yeah. Law, you not invited to the party. Wherever we at, we the party. Turn it up. Shout out to Jerry Jones, man. I'm definitely on the hit list now. Hey, just don't shank me, Jerry. Don't take me out before it's my time. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, we got from the 909, Donnie. You're live on the Nation, man. Talk to me, man.
Hey, Law. How you doing, brother?
Man, better than I deserve, man. What you got for me today, man, on this MLK Day?
Oh, I think we're going to hear something by the end of the week, man, on this defensive coordinator position. Because the Senior Bowl Law is in 12 days.
Yeah.
And there's no way you're going to show up at the Senior Bowl, you know, with your head coach, Will McClay, your scouting department, and without your DC.
Facts.
So, yeah, and I don't think I don't think it's going to be Leonard, man. You can't take that chance on waiting on Leonard, and he's still playing. If Denver wins this weekend, now you got 2 more weeks. I think in between the Super Bowl, you have a chance to do a FaceTime, a personal face-to-face interview, but that'll be too long.
Right.
So I think we're going to hear something this week. I'm just praying it's not Gannon.
Me too, man.
I love the aspect, and we've talked about it before, Law, about the Cowboys doing their due diligence of interviewing guys, and I like a lot of the candidates, but I think we're going to hear something this week. We have to.
We got to. You did bring up a brilliant point, man, about just having your staff in order and making sure you cross your T's and dot your I's. And my thing is, if it's to appoint Leonard, then make the bold statement saying that's my damn defensive coordinator. It was all agreed upon with everyone, right? And if y'all had to pull straws and stuff like that, and if the deciding factor is the person, I guess, background and culture that he don't bring and do bring and all of this stuff, look, go get the best candidate. Make sure that you surround, and there's consultant stuff that you can always reach out to. Whoever tree that he's from, if it's and I'm just using this as a pivot to it, to a point. If it's a Wade Phillips tree, bring in Wade Phillips just to help get this guy feet going, And if it's, because I know if this is a first time DC, he's going to have some growing pains if he's the new guy. But don't just go and dismiss all of the new guys because you scared of that. You're a billionaire with a B. Figure out a solution. If you have a little reservation, there's nothing wrong with hiring a consultant to come in. Pay that consulting fee so that things can be right and proper. Stop being cheap, Jerry. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, act like you're a superpower.
Yeah.
You talk about how much the Cowboys are worth, and they're always on these Fortune magazines and all this, and Jerry loves his brand.
Right.
So act like it.
Act like it, man.
Act like it, man.
Yeah, bring in all the greatest of the greatest minds. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what I would do, and get this thing moving and grooving, man. I appreciate you for calling in, Donnie. Great conversation today with you.
Okay, take care, bro.
Yes, indeed, man. That's Donnie from the 909, man. Just bringing the brightest, the brilliancies of the minds and everything. Good. Today was really good, Cowboys Nation. Today was really good. I love the ideals that you guys were able to bounce out there. The Cowboys overall, collectively, if they want this bad enough, they'll figure out a way. And that's just the reality of it, Cowboys. We shouldn't be playing around with our food. We shouldn't be playing around with our mindsets with this. We should find a way to be on top of this. We should. Cowboys, how y'all feeling, man? How y'all are living in this particular mix of things? Because this is presented and brought to you by Fanatic Live. This episode today, our premium sponsor of the hour is Fanatic Live, where you can build your own brand of card collections, and you can wheel and deal. You can browse by seller. You can go to different categories. You can do the instant rips. It's so many things that you can do with Fanatics. All you have to do is download the app, use code HMA, or just tell them Law sent you this way. How about that? That all rhymes for your mind. Instant rip action, the future of breaking, all of this good stuff about being competitive. And I compete. I even got a Reggie Jackson card that I was able to buy for minimum, and I was able to transition it around for a little bit more. So that's how Fanatic Live works. Be sure to download the app on your phone or your cellular device and let people know Law sent you. With that being said, the Cowboys, as we getting ready to ascend into this offseason, Don't play around with your food. Stand on business with your decisions. Stand on it. Brian Flores, please. This is from Lauren. I think this is how you say your name. Cloud9, Ice Cold Cowboy. Appreciate you. Who else we have here? Flores is too expensive to Jerry Jones. Yeah, he could be. Or Jerry Jones' buddy might not like him. You know what I'm saying? It could be another thing. Jerry Jones' buddy. Like,
look at my African American over here.
Shout out to Jerry Jones' buddy, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in. One of the things that I was watching this off season, I saw the episode just the other day, and it was the Landman episode, season 2. Landman season 2. The episode that I just witnessed, it was their best episode. You know, they had a lot of dialogue in this one, but I love the spontaneity of the billionaire owner of the oil industry. Her husband passed away, and now she has the keys to run the fleet of operation. And not to tell y'all the story or the show, but I'm going to tell you the story of the show. I think his name Billy Bob. He got fired because he knows the terrain. He knows the landscape and how to operate things a certain way. But there was a situation where his son, a man would go to the edge of the earth to protect his son. But his son was trying to protect his fiance. And he ended up beating the guy to his deathbed, basically. Here's what I'm getting at. If you want to make something happen, you go out there and you make it happen. You go out there and pull strings to get things done. And although he got fired, it lit a fire under him of saying that, hey, I can't be docile. I can't just be still and dormant. I got to go out here and get this paper. I got to make something happen, baby. And it happened. He's successful with it. They got the deal done. Now there's going to be more and more trials and tribulations. Old folks say either you going into a storm or you coming out of one. A lot of people doubted, even in Dallas, what would happen off of I-30. That they had to shut down a road this past weekend. Law, where you going, man? Who out here understand that sometimes you got to break up things in order to build it correctly? But you can still do your due diligence, but you got to plan correctly. Now they earmarked that area over here in Dallas, $880 million. The cost of doing business. Now one can say that $880 million, man, I know Tyrone and them that can get it done for $8. It don't work that way. You pay for what you get, baby, is what I'm saying. And I-30 is open. A lot of people said it will not be open, but they managed to get it open because they planned. They properly planned. And this is what happened when you plan.
Lauren Crawford here with CBS News Texas. A good traffic alert coming your way this morning. I-30, both east and westbound, are back open here in Dallas. This comes after a long weekend shutdown. And in a matter of just 2 days, the Cesar Chavez Bridge was taken down. And this shutdown marked a major early milestone in the years-long effort to rebuild and modernize I-30 through downtown Dallas. Now, TxDOT says this is just the first of many closures to come, but just want to give you an alert that both the east and the westbound lanes are back open for your Monday morning commute.
If you would have seen the picture on the front end, you say, ain't no way, it's not possible. But that's a story within a story. There's a story within a story. They were able to get that job done by proper planning, by proper preparation, by sitting down and going through the ideology of how they want it to look like. Now, they may have made some mistakes, but out of $880 million, they had got it right. Cowboys Nation, I'm using this as an analogy. You can try to go the cheap route and get things done. It can work, but the cheaper you go, the margins of those errors of mistake is going to be even larger. So you got to make sure that you go in and get the proper things done. As I said, for the love of money is the root of all evil, but money also answereth all things. Cowboy Nation, I really appreciate y'all so much for y'all support. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. We up out. We didn't have not one support, no donation here. So there's no ending credits. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all to the moon and back. Peace.